From the 3rd to the 9th of April 2017, the Base Gallery London presents There Will Be Fire! 3 London artists. Part 1 with Aleksandar Basic.
Turning it into dubstep by adding this noise. First, without the microphone, listen. Thank you. So everything is just my voice. The microphone and speaker are only here so you can all hear me at the same time. So check this out.
Well, I'm catching up with Aleksandar Basic. How are you?
How are you, Chris? I'm alright.
Long time no see, is it?
Oh, it's been a year and a half almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
So we are here now for the group exhibition called 3. This is an exhibition about 3 educators. We were working all together and we decided to put a show. Now the show is about individual exploration of our own work and artistic movements. Now I have been looking into art history and different artists and the portraiture as well. Portraiture is something that interested me before, and I talked about in your interview before what is my intention for the next show. So this has started developing. The project is about 99 artists that I find significant for my work, and I would like to use it in one way or the other, or if these artists are influencing me, even if I'm not using their experiments and their ideas and their paintings, they might be influencing me in one way or the other for my own practice. Now I have been looking into Giacometti at the beginning, and it took about 2 or 3 months approximately to develop the style and the idea how the painting should look like. I visited National Portrait Gallery, seen his portrait, which he did when he was a student, 1920 or some years. And I liked it, and I decided to look into portraiture today, how it's been depicted from Renaissance until today, and how the equipment is being used today for face recognition. And I was fascinated by that, how the software is not actually looking at eyes and nose, and it's not recognizing those parts of the body or parts of the face, features of the face. It's actually looking to connect the dots from dot to dot. And that's where my idea came to. So it's almost like chunking it into parts, looking into parts of the face and connecting from eye to eye, from nose to nose, from nose to chin and so on. So how am I looking to create this? It becomes almost like a dissected face with shapes which are very geometric, very edgy. However, I'm trying to input something from that artist, like hairstyle, what they're wearing, the colors, the way I apply the brush, and all these parts are actually creating a bit more about the artist itself. So you're looking at the faces, not recognizing immediately importance of these people. However, you're drawn to complete a portrait. When you're looking at the portrait, you want to complete it in your own way. Your brain is playing a trick with you and wants to put all the features where they should be. Now that was my intention, to make it intriguing and interesting. Once you are interested in one of the portraits, or more than one, you will be able to learn and ask me perhaps to find the name of the artist. Why am I doing this? What am I doing? And people are usually responding quite well. They're finding the interesting part is to look at the portrait, not caring if that portrait is of somebody famous, not known, or well recognized. And that actually plays really on ordinary person, like every man, which I'm again interested in to create every man in the portrait. Now the famous status which came from Picasso and even before Michelangelo and let's say Warhol, some people were recognized on the streets. Now not necessarily Michelangelo, that he was recognized on the streets of different cities, but Picasso, Warhol, Jackson Pollock, all these people were recognized due to publicity, due to publicizing and PR, television, newspapers, media, and so on.
That's a lot to do with art these days, isn't it?
Well, it seems to be that that's the route, that celebrity status is very important to push forward the work that people recognize and notice.
Part of the art form.
Well, it's a platform.
Enjoys that live here.
I think the platform is very important to put yourself on that platform. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that on my own, and that is something that I should worry about. My worry is only about creating something new, something that interests me, and that if I'm creating something that is fulfilling me in an artistic way, and I'm actually progressing, and I feel that something is happening with my practice, that is moving and developing. That is the most important thing. Now, if the fame and celebrity status come across, which I doubt it's going to happen anytime soon, or who knows if it's going to happen at all. Yeah. Well, usually whatever happens. Well, I'm afraid what happens overnight sometimes in the morning light disappears. So I wouldn't like to have that kind of success. However, the portraiture which I have created now, it's progressing nicely. I managed to go to Florence to see Michelangelo's home.
When did you go there?
Last year I went there for holidays, and it was only 3 days, and I managed to see not just his house, Dante's house, and see all the sculptures and walk around the city, and it was really impressive. So that was the next stage when I moved on with the portraits, and now I'm quite confident to move on with 2 or 3 portraits at a time. Obviously, preparation, research, which is required, it takes a bit longer. However, I can create more and faster, and to accomplish the portraits. Now, the danger is that every portrait is A3 size, and I need to complete 99. That's my mission, to complete 99. However, at the moment I have 20, and upon this journey I came across the idea that I need to burn off some of my work, which is almost like letting go, allowing myself to make mistakes, and on this journey where I'm creating portraits, to experiment. So I did portraits of 3 of us. The exhibition is called 3. So that was quite a good idea, to do 3 portraits, self-portrait and 2 more portraits. Now, the way I have created it, I layered 3 pieces of paper on top of each other. So the base, middle, ground, and the top. And I painted it, and when I have actually arranged them in the way that I have on the wall, you can see it later, your brain is trying to put everything together, which is impossible. Itself, the mission is impossible, even if they're put together on top of each other, never mind when they're sected. But that is part of the experiment, that is part of the journey, not to repeat myself constantly and to try to let go. Importance of burning this is almost like a cleansing moment, that I'm not taking my work too precious. And I'm allowed to make mistakes. And if this is purposely mistake, and if it's burnt, so be it. If it's not mistake, and if it's a grain which is going to grow and develop and create something new, a new piece of work, fantastic. But let's see it, hey?
Should be interesting.
Yeah, I hope so.
Some of the artists think you cheated because you picked the ones you're going to burn tonight.
Well, I picked those, and I have actually spent probably about 3 hours to create them, to observe very carefully, where I had some appraisals from people that they said that one of those self-portraits, it looks exactly like me, it's easy to recognize. So that is appraisal, so it means that I have put effort and energy to create it in that way. And also, I have, after these 3 or 4 hours creating the work, I have taken extra time while I was doing the other portraits to try and improve them constantly, continuously improving them and creating them better. So it's not something that is fake or something that is made just for a stunt. It's actually a good piece of work which took a long time to create, very thoughtful, very considerate.
That'll be valuable one day.
Well, I'm not going to talk. We artists usually don't talk about money, but if it is valuable, there is Incinerator here, and they can actually buy that Incinerator, and that could be a part of the artwork if they want to keep it for the memory, or if it's so important for them to have it as a piece of artwork.
Go to Tech Modern then, maybe. Don't go there.
Nah.
Should we go and have a look at your work?
Yes, please. Come in. Come in. Hello. So, these are the artists that I was talking about. Everything's...
Can you come on the inside?
Sure. So this is the first artist which started everything. This was a journey to National Portrait Gallery, and this is Giacometti. Now, his early portrait when he was 20-ish, 1920, art student, he was painting himself in this style, looking at the shoulder, and I was fascinated by his ability to do sculpture when he was a child, 9-10 years old. And I thought that this is really something accomplished as an artist, and he was looking for something different to create it, rather than to go in that easy direction of creating realism or even surrealism and cubism, which he was interested in. He created his own personal style, so we cannot actually slot him in anything. So it was well worth it to research this artist, look at his colours and create something in that way. Once I have created that, it took me approximately 2 to 3 months, so it's a long journey to create all of the other ones. Now, I was fascinated by his hair, how it started moving into the clouds, and the media that I use is ink, watercolours and acrylic. So it's all water-based. Now, the rest of the artwork has been created between 2016 and 2017, but however, I would like to take you on a journey from Florence, where I went to see Michelangelo's home. Now, this is a portrait which I looked online, and I tried to draw it, but I had to go to see this portrait in flesh, and I went to his house, and I was fascinated to find that there is not one portrait, but there is about 3 or 4 portraits that are painted of him. I've seen his sculptures, I've seen sculptures that people have made of him, and I've studied his face, improved his drawing, and then moved on to create something like this. So my idea is to look into this face recognition softwares and technology which we have today, which is used widely. It's not science fiction anymore, and the portraiture is taken to absurd, to kitsch, to selfies, to everyday people taking many photos. So how I can actually represent something new, what I thought is that use this software recognition and pretend that this is something that software recognition would use, connecting dot to dot rather than looking for the eyes, nose, mouth and so on. So the features of the face can be connected somehow with lines, again using some of the color here and almost like a uniform, what they're wearing, or the style of clothing, what they used to wear at certain times. So you would be able to connect Leonardo da Vinci. However, some of the artists are impossible to be recreated, as there is no recognition of their self-portraits. There is only etchings or paintings of some of the other artists that have created of them. So I would use these references for my own work, or I would use sometimes even self-portraits of the artists what they created, or self-portraits in photographs that are being created, and then applying the color in similar style, using tones of colors, maybe even brushwork. For example, on this one we can see young Rembrandt, and looking at his brushwork for the hair, which was fascinating for me, and those tones of colors that he uses in the shadowy parts of the face. So I'm not looking at the moustache, I'm not looking at that age when we remember Rembrandt. Rembrandt has created many portraits over his life. His life was very long, and he created many portraits in a year, never mind throughout his life. Excuse me. And it's very important for me to create some kind of portrait that I feel is important to recognize in a part of the life. Now, this was young Rembrandt. Now we have here portrait of Italian painter Caravaggio, and I'm looking at the style of what he's wearing and his hair. Now we can't tell the age and the time, but once you start thinking through history, you will be able to see a timeline of what they're wearing, of how they look like, and what is the hairstyle. Some of the things are very fashionable today and trendy. However, when they're sitting next to each other, these portraits are showing through time, through age, and through styles as well, of hairstyles, colors, ideas, how they wanted to be represented. These artists wanted to be presenting themselves in a certain way. Now we have Rodin, we have Kyle Roth, and we have Renoir, Monet.
So, what reason have you picked these artists in particular?
These artists are particularly the ones that I said at the beginning really interest me. There is 99, that number is to have up to 99, and maybe one more I can do later on when the whole thing is finished. Now the reason why is this number. I could go to thousands, but I just need to stop with a series. Even when I think about it, this is a journey for a year, maybe a tiny bit longer than a year. So it took me to do 20 portraits in a year. Obviously, I did some other explorations and different things for my art and for the next project that I want to do or planning to do. However, 20 portraits in a year, it's quite a long time to do and quite a long period to develop it. So I can go forever with this, and this could be my, lifetime task that I want to complete. But it's not something that I want to stick. I usually work between projects and move on from one project, and then I move on to the other one and leave the ones which are completed. Now this exhibition is almost halfway through, but I'm sure because the holidays are coming and the school holidays are coming, I can actually work a bit more and be more creative and complete this perhaps the rest of the portraits by the end of the year. Now I always thought about using different media as well, maybe going into oil or canvas, and that is still in the plan. However, if I find that it's going to be time consuming and it's going to take more time to complete some of the portraits in oil, I might leave that for the next project, because that's something that I might plan to do in oils for the next project. Well, we'll see.
Into dubstep by adding
Thank you very much.
First, without the microphone, listen. Thank you. So everything is just my voice, the microphone and speaker, and we're only here so you can all hear me at the same time. So check this out. Okay, watch this. Speaking and beatboxing. So counting 1 to 4, turn it into a dance beat, and then into UK garage. 1, 2, 3, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, thank you. Gotta get through this, thank you. Gotta get through this. Rewind. When the crowd say pause, selector. So we're coming up to the grand finale in about 1 minute's time, where I'm going to show you the fastest beatboxing that I can do at the same time as playing the harmonica. So, check this out. Reverse. And bring sexy clap, yeah. So now the grand finale. Check this out. The drum beat, starting slowly, goes like this. I'm going to speed it up as fast as I can go, at the same time adding all these different noises. As well as the harmonica, faster than drum and bass. So, are you guys ready for the grand finale? Say yeah! Yeah! Okay, more energy. Say yeah. Yeah. Say yeah. Okay, cool. If I could also get everyone to take 3 steps closer to the grand finale, which is happening right now. This is so you can hear me when I take away the mic. Thank you. Okay, watch this. The drum beat. All those different noises. Check this out. One last thing. Because at the end of the show, I'm going to be completely out of breath. I'm going to say this now. This is what I do for a living. This is my job. No one pays me to be here. Only the people that enjoyed my performance. So if I've entertained you, if I've made you happy, at the end of the show, I'm going to stand up at the front with the red box. Absolutely everything is appreciated. So thank you guys. Thank you for enjoying it. If I've made you happy, it makes me happy. So thank you guys. Check this out. Right here, right now, right here, right now, right about now. The front soul brother. Check it out now. The front soul brother. Even faster. Even faster. Okay, everyone, clap for me. Here we go.
Thanks to 5 Base Gallery London and the 3 artists, Aleksandar Basic, Lisa Sharma, Mr. Luke Branca. You can find Aleksandar Basic on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks to the outstanding acoustic sound of Intensit. You can find him on Instagram, Twitter and Snapchat. This has been a Chris Summerfield video production 2017. You can contact me at ccsmoto12@hotmail.com, and if you can help to sponsor my videos, you can PayPal me at ccsmoto1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video. It's a